Alabama takes on Texas A&M Saturday at 2:30 on CBS. Both teams won their season opener. Texas A&M played Vanderbilt. Alabama played Missouri. Alabama beat Mizzou 38-19, as much of you Alabama fans are aware. But if you don't know, Texas A&M beat Vanderbilt by 5. 17-12 was the final in Aggie Land. A&M just had a tough game against Vanderbilt. I mean, when you play Vanderbilt, you're supposed to beat them by 30. Texas A&M was favored by 31 in that game, and they only won by 5. So they severely underperformed, at least according to Vegas's standards. Texas A&M had 3 turnovers in that game. They had a safety. So to be fair, they really should have won by more if they hadn't turned it over and had a safety. But nonetheless, it was a bad performance. That is an ugly score. And a lot of the things coming from Texas A&M fans is that their offense is really bad. And yeah, scoring 17 points and turning the ball over 3 times, that's not a great offensive performance. They didn't dominate time of possession in that Vanderbilt game either. That's what Jimbo Fisher likes to do, is dominate time of possession. And they were not able to do that. So it's just an ugly game. I'm interested how much. I'm not going to read too much into it. It was a boring opening game. The fans, there weren't any fans, or there's only 20% fans at Texas A&M and Kyle Field. I know the players were not up to play Vanderbilt, so I'm not going to read too much into it. I think it is a little telling. It's a good thing for A&M's sake that they had that game before they played Alabama, because they can know what they're going to work on. But based on that Vanderbilt game, I would not expect this A&M-Alabama game to be close. Now, A&M is going to be ready to play Alabama. It's the biggest game of the season for Texas A&M. Besides, Alabama's the second-ranked team in the country, so it will be the biggest game of the season for Texas A&M. I don't know. I think the last couple meetings between Texas A&M and Alabama have been, at least the last 2 games. In 2018 in Tuscaloosa, it was 45-23. Maybe it was 45-30, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was 45-23. And the year before, last year, it was 47-28. So Texas A&M has been able to put some points up on Alabama, but Alabama's been able to put points up on them. So Alabama's been pretty dominant in this matchup. 2017, going back 3 years, now that wasn't a Jimbo Fisher coach team, so I guess it doesn't really count, but it was a much closer game. So I'm not going to expect Alabama to completely blow Texas A&M out. If I had to say Alabama's favored by 17 this game, I would say that Alabama is going to slightly cover. I think Alabama wins by about 20. I think it's very possible that in the first quarter it'll be a 1-score game or a tied ball game. But I just don't see this game being anywhere near close by the end of the second quarter. Alabama, the offense is too good. And Alabama's defense is one of the best it's been in a long time. Probably the best since 2016. And again, these Texas A&M fans, and I didn't watch much of the Texas A&M Vanderbilt game, but again, these Texas A&M fans are complaining about how bad their offense is. And when you combine that with the terrific defense, at least I personally think the terrific defense of Alabama, I think it's going to be ugly for Texas A&M on the offensive end. So we'll see. It could be a blowout. Now I'm thinking about it. If Alabama holds Texas A&M to under 20 points, and it very well could be a pretty sizable margin of victory for Alabama. But it will be an exciting game. It's the first home game. I will be going to the game. I'm very excited. I'm very thankful that I'm going to be able to go to an Alabama game this season. There's a point where I didn't think there would be an Alabama game, and there's a point where I didn't think if there were Alabama games, I'd be going to Alabama games because I didn't think there'd be any fans. But thankful to be going to Alabama games. I will be posting pictures of the field and the stadium once I get in on Saturday to my Instagram at Primetide Sports. Go check it out. Go follow. But yeah, I just it's not the most excited I've been for a game. In a normal year, I wouldn't be that excited for it. It's a ranked matchup, but it's you kind of know going into this game it's gonna be rough. It's not gonna be very close. Now I could be wrong. Texas A&M could pull something out, but I just don't see it happening. And yeah, but nonetheless, since we've had all this confusion this season, all this thinking we're not going to have football, I am really excited about the game. 2:30 on CBS. Somehow we got the CBS game instead of Georgia-Auburn. I guess Alabama pulls in better ratings, or CBS thought Alabama and A&M would pull in better ratings than Auburn and Georgia. I guess that's because Texas is a big market. Everything's bigger in Texas, and obviously Alabama games pull in huge ratings. So it's going to be a fun game at Bryant-Denny. If I'm going to have to predict a final score, I want to kind of go on the trend that's been recently, kind of 40-20-something. I'm going to go 41-21 for a final score. That's been the trend in a lot of these A&M-Alabama games. I'm going to stick with it. 41-21, Alabama wins Saturday at 2:30. Let's go! If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe.